Depression operates as a pervasive mood disorder that fills a room, anchoring a person in a constant state of emptiness. It attacks on three fronts at once. It drains the mind, breaks down the body, and severs social ties, trapping the sufferer at the center of those three forces. Because this condition lives beneath the surface, those suffering often struggle to find the words to explain the pain. To an observer, the symptoms remain hidden. To bridge that gap, we can map out what this looks like on a granular level by tracking a single 24-hour cycle of a person living with the condition. Understanding requires looking past clinical definitions to experience the physical weight of this timeline, hour by hour. The cycle begins the moment the eyes open. While sleep is meant to bring rest, someone with depression wakes up exhausted. The energy gauge stays at zero, regardless of the hours spent in bed. This energy deficit turns automatic reflexes into grueling hurdles. Simply sitting up and getting out of bed feels like fighting gravity. An invisible weight attaches to the shoulders before the feet even touch the floor. It pulls at the individual constantly, dragging them down before they leave the house. In this state, morning is the resumption of a heavy, continuous physical burden. By midday, the outside world demands attention, but sitting in a classroom or an office feels like being trapped in a room where time barely moves. When the brain's ability to process pleasure is diminished, the individual becomes unresponsive and unfocused on the world around them. Cut off from external connections, the mind turns inward. This triggers a plunge in self-worth, where the individual zeroes in on every perceived flaw. They look at their peers, comparing their internal struggle to the functioning lives around them, viewing their own difficulty as proof of personal failure. This mindset is a symptom of the mood disorder. Yet to the person experiencing it, the belief that they are failing feels undeniable. They spend the afternoon in an isolated echo chamber of self-blame, while the rest of the world moves forward. In the late afternoon, hopelessness often peaks. This is a rooted belief that neither the state of the world nor the individual's own condition will improve. To manage this emotional numbness, the brain searches for external coping mechanisms. Food often becomes a tool for these divergent paths. Some may overeat to distract themselves from the void, while others find their apathy renders food unappetizing, leading them to stop eating. These behaviors function as desperate, involuntary responses to an unmanageable emptiness. Evening arrives, bringing the physical symptoms to the forefront. The psychological stress manifests as headaches, nausea, and muscle tension pulsing through the shoulders and stomach. When they finally lie down, the sleep cycle breaks. Anxiety-induced insomnia might keep them awake, or they may use excessive sleep as an escape from the day. This broken pattern increases physical exhaustion and bodily stress. The night offers no sanctuary. It compounds the physical damage and resets the exhaustion loop for the next morning. The 24-hour cycle shows that depression is an all-encompassing involuntary state. It is a complex condition that persists regardless of willpower. Simplistic advice can be dismissive. Phrases like, "just eat something," or "be grateful," ignore the physiological barriers the individual is fighting. Effective support involves silent validation and active listening. Acknowledging the reality of invisible pain provides a foundation for help. Suspending judgment and sharing stories builds the empathetic understanding needed to help bridge the isolation of depression.